and welcome to All Care Hospice's Lights of Remembrance. My name is Trish Crean. I'm the bereavement coordinator here at All Care Hospice. The holiday season is a time of tradition and hope and joy, usually celebrated with family and friends. Inevitably, holidays also turn our thoughts to loved ones who are no longer here, but whose memory burns brightly in our hearts. To help families, friends, and the community cope with the holiday seasons, Lights of Remembrance was created. It's a safe place to come together and remember and honor loved ones in a special way. Hospice has a unique understanding of loss, and for many years, All Care Hospice has maintained a tradition of remembrance and comfort during the holidays. Lights of Remembrance, our annual candle and tree lighting ceremony, helps honor the memory of the loved ones we've lost over the year and beyond. The act of lighting a candle in honor of those who have passed is a centuries-old tradition that allows us to express what we cannot communicate in words. By lighting a candle for a loved one, we remember and honor their life and their memory. A single candle is a symbol that the human spirit helps bring light from darkness. So I invite you to get comfortable at home and here, and I also invite you to gather a candle and light it in memory of your loved ones and have it lit throughout the ceremony. I'd like to now introduce our Chief Operating Officer, Jo Mary Koopman, for some opening words.
Thank you for joining us here this evening. I wanted to welcome all of you as well to our Hospice Service of Remembrance. Tonight's ceremony provides us with the time to remember and reflect on our loved ones who have passed. It's often around the holidays that we miss their presence. We hope that by joining us here this evening, that you will find some comfort in remembering your loved one and also know that you're not alone. Before we get started, I wanted to acknowledge and thank a few members of our hospice team. First, I'd like to thank Sean Potter, our President and CEO, and thank him for his commitment to our organization and to our hospice and palliative care programs. I would also like to thank Trish Crean, our bereavement coordinator, for putting this beautiful service together this evening, as well as her team of volunteers who helped her. So thank all of you. I also wanted to thank members of our hospice team, from our Director of Hospice, Mackenzie Shanahan, to our Medical Director, Dr. Lewis Hayes, to our management team of Erica Donfrio, Lori McFarland, Mary LeBlanc, to our direct care staff, to our administrative staff, and our team of volunteers. The work that they do to care for our patients and their families is just amazing. I just wanted to acknowledge that we are committed to our patients and families, and it doesn't just end when a loved one passes. In the days, months, years ahead, our team is here for you. So please do not hesitate to reach out to any of them if you need any help and support or a resource. Again, thank you for joining us for this Hospice Service of Remembrance. And next, I would like to introduce to you Tess Baumberger, who will start our ceremony with an opening reflection.
Good evening. This reflection was written by my colleague Lisa Kirk, who is unable to be here tonight. She first quotes Rachel Naomi Remen, who wrote, "Grieving allows us to heal, to remember with love rather than pain. It is a sorting process. One by one, you let go of the things that are gone and you mourn for them. One by one, you take hold of the things that have become a part of who you are and build again." You've all found your way into this space tonight because you've lost a loved one. It is safe to say that all of us in this room have lost someone in our lives. None of us are alone. Ms. Remen's words offer a rhythm to this journey of grief. One by one, she says, letting us know that our grief will continue to travel with us as we continue on with living. The world asks us to get it done, to find closure. Dr. Stephen J. Foreman calls this closure a myth. A good call, because grief has a life of its own. Just as one thinks it's gone, it can sneak up out of the blue. Tears begin to flow. Sadness settles in again for a while. And then one day, as we are living, we notice its heaviness has subsided a little bit, has woven its way into our lives. Like the threads that are part of clothing, it has become a piece of our being, perhaps even a friend that can help us to navigate tough times. This is where the hope is. Ms. Remen gives us hope in the idea of building again. Our wish for you this evening is a lessening of your grief, whether it's been a decade, a year, a week, since your loved one departed. In remembering them with love in this community, may you, the you are becoming, shine a little brighter. And now I invite forward Erica D'Onofrio.
Good evening. To honor you, author unknown. To honor you, I get up every day, take a breath, and start another day without you in it. To honor you, I laugh and love with those who knew your smile, and the way that your eyes twinkled with mischief and secret knowledge. To honor you, I take the time to appreciate everyone I love. I now know that there is no guarantee of days or hours spent in their presence. To honor you, I listen to music you would have liked and sing at the top of my lungs with the windows rolled down. To honor you, I take chances, say what I feel, hold nothing back, risk making a fool out of myself, and dance every dance. You are my light, my heart, my gift of love from the very highest source. So every day, I vow to make a difference, share a smile, live, laugh, and love. Now I live for both of us. So all I do to honor you. For our first reading, I'd like to introduce our next reader, Allison Bonita, hospice social worker.
I'll be lighting the grief candle, and I'd like to share these words. We light a candle to honor the sacred time of mourning as we grieve the loss of our loved ones. We acknowledge that the intensity of our grief and suffering represents the depth of our love, and that our tears are a testament to the special relationship we shared. We pray for faith and courage to face dark days when we feel frightened and alone, and for the friendship of others to help bear our burden of grief. The pain of losing you is as intense as our love for you. We are thankful for the opportunity to gather with others who are also brokenhearted and understand our sorrow. I am now going to light the grief candle. For the next reading, I'd like to introduce Sue Bowden Duffy, RN case manager. Hi, everyone. I'm going to be lighting the memory candle. We light a candle to celebrate the memories of our loved ones that will always remain in our hearts. We give thanks for their lives and remember their laughter, smiles, kindness, the happy times we've shared, and our struggles and regrets. The time we laughed, the time we've cried, the times we were angry towards each other, the silly things you did, and the caring and joy you gave us. We reflect on the many ways that our loved ones helped shape our lives and bring out the best in us. and the qualities that made them special and unique. We treasure the gift of having shared our lives with them, and we will always cherish their legacies of love that endure. Again, I'm going to light the memory candle. And our next reader will be Dr. Lewis Hayes, Hospice Medical Director.
Good evening. I'm going to be lighting the peace candle tonight. We light this candle to acknowledge that peace can be ours despite pain and loss. We light this candle to represent the light of peace. We hope for peace in the midst of the holiday season, especially when we feel frustrated or resentful that those around us may not understand our grief. We give ourselves permission to seek rest and quiet reflection and allow our wounded hearts to experience the pain of our loss. We open our hearts and spirits to receive the peace that passes all understanding. And with that, I'll light the peace candle. And next, I will introduce Mary LeBlanc, who is our hospice operations manager.
I'm going to be doing the light of hope. We light this candle to kindle hope for days of healing still to come. We light this candle to represent the light of hope. We are transferred by our loss and now walk an unfamiliar road, but we are surrounded by love and grace, and we are not alone. We allow the promise of hope to take root within us, hope for solace in our moments of despair, healing our hearts and souls, trust in goodness and faithfulness, and hope for our future. You will live on through us, never to be erased from our heart memory, that our lives continue to make a difference in the world, that you are proud of us, and we love you and remember you. I'm going to light the candle. I'd like to now introduce the next reader, June Richardson, our volunteer coordinator.
Good evening. I'm going to light the candle of love. We light this candle to give thanks for our love, which carries along in its embrace. We light this candle to represent the light of love. We are grateful for the capacity to love and the blessings that we've been able to have loved. We are thankful for those who loved, endured, even after death, and that our connection. To our loved ones and memories we shared always, be safe in our hearts. We strive to love others fully, to serve as a light to them as our loved ones shared the light with us. As we enter the holiday season and share the night of remembrance, we light the candle that your light may always shine. And now I'd like to introduce our singer for tonight, Alexandra D'Onofrio.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, blue birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
This is a poem that I wrote many years ago, and it's called To Grief, and it addresses grief like a friend, as Lisa wrote in her introduction. To Grief. Here you are, old friend. You are returned, though never far away, always ready to enter the heavy cavern of all that matters most, each time a little wider, each time a little deeper. We walk into a large cave with smooth, cool walls, a gentle, reflective pool, light streaming from the opening and cracks up to the sky, quiet sounds of dripping, rocks that capture color. Here you are, old friend. You have led me back. Let's go deep once more. We're now going to have a time for a couple of rituals, the first of which is a naming ritual. So we're going to invite you into a sacred time of naming those who have gone before us, who are in our hearts tonight. We will have to do it a little differently than we have in the past because of this format, but we hope it will be a time of honoring and of healing. As you at home and those present here gently call out the names of those who have died, I will drop pebbles into this vessel. Please feel free to do something wherever you are to honor and to remember. Tonight, we remember these beloveds.
Charlotte. Anna Martinez. Brian.
Hillary,
Patricia. Raymond. John. Donald and Wayne. Ruth. Jean. Brandon. Bob. Josephine. Jim. Lois. Janice. Schoffer. Thomas and Beatrice. Maureen and
Chuck. Bernard and Doris.
James.
Charlie and June.
Constant. Deborah.
Angelo.
Angela gets 2. And a bonus.
Roger,
Sharon and John.
Mary and Alex,
Eddie.
Ernest. Bertha.
Elizabeth.
Debbie.
Mary and Bill.
Brett.
Ralph. Marina. John. Bob.
Joe and Rita.
David and Norma.
Alex.
Kim.
Mary.
Kay and Joe.
John.
George.
Louise.
Irene and Tom.
Michael.
Dorothy.
John.
James.
George. Brenda. Jimmy. We open our hearts to receive these names and the names that you have shared at home. We give thanks that these people have been in our lives and we wish them peace. We light our last candle in honor of them, their legacies, and their light. May we celebrate how they shine within and around us. May we nurture them as we nurture ourselves. Light is an important symbol in our human lives and has been for thousands, if not millions of years. It symbolizes warmth and nourishment because fire warms us and it also heats our food and it provides light. It's not surprising that light is mentioned in the writings of many different religions. In the Jewish scriptures, Psalm 119 prays, "Your light, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Islam says that God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The Hindu tradition says that the aspect of the divine that is inside each of us is like a light that can have splendor like the sun. Jesus said that we are the light of the world and that we should let our light shine so all may see our good works and give glory to the divine. Buddhism says that enlightenment is like bringing an oil lamp into the darkness so that all can see and be guided by that light. As we heard, tradition holds that the last thing that the Buddha said to his followers was, "Make of yourselves a light." Those who have died possess some of this sacred light, and that light shines on in us who carry their memories and their values in our hearts and in our lives. They acted like guiding stars for us. So in another ritual of naming, we invite you to think of a quality that you learned from a loved one who has passed, that acts like a guiding star in your life. I invite you to name that quality and perhaps write it out on something. That's a gift that they gave you that you get to keep and carry with you all your life. Place that word or words somewhere where you can see them. That can remind you of those gifts of wisdom they gave you. May those words guide you through your time of loss. As we listen to some music, please call out those qualities that lit your life when they were here and that provide light to you now. And then I actually think our next thing is going to be Lori McFarland.
Good evening. This next reading is going to be a responsive reading, and we ask that you respond with, "We remember them." In the rising of the sun and in its going down,
We remember them.
in the blowing of the wind, in the chill of winter,
We remember them.
in the opening of the buds and in the warmth of summer,
We remember them.
in the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn,
We remember them.
in the beginning of the year and when it ends,
We remember them.
when we are weary and in need of strength,
We remember them.
when we are lost and sick of heart,
We remember them.
when we have joys we yearn to share.
We remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are a part of us.
We remember them.
Blackness envelops us during grief and leaves us alone. Then, cool to the touch, a light is placed in our hands. These hands that once held you, and now we hold each other. One by one, a light is born. One by one, it flickers, flames. And the glow warms our heart, touches our soul. And we remember love. We remember you. So let's take a moment of silence as we light this tree in gratitude that they lived and that we shared their life for a while.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
As our service draws to its close, let us enter together into a spirit of meditation, reflection, or prayer. Let us pray. Spirit of light and life, please be with us through these holidays. In this dark time of year, send us lights of candles, stars, moon, and sometimes sun. In a bleak time of grief, send us moments that are evergreen. In this time of giving, help us also to receive. Help us to cherish the goodness of life. Help us appreciate those we love. Grant us courage, strength, serenity, guidance, and glimmering moments of joy. Amen. And blessed be.
So as we close this service, I want to thank all my wonderful colleagues and volunteers who participated in tonight's event and those that stepped up as needed. I really appreciate it. I want to thank our musicians, Michaela Gelati and Genevieve Gray. I'd also like to thank our lovely singer, Alexandra D'Onofrio. A big thank you, of course, to Paul Goodwin and Bill Drinkwater and June Richardson that all helped me in a big way. And I want to thank all of you at home for joining us. I want to wish a happy holiday to you and yours as you grieve and cope. As the song says, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But for some of us, this is not the case. There will be days when you feel okay, happy, and a desire to connect with others. Then there'll be days that hit you hard. And on those days, it can be hard to think, hard to focus, hard to stop the tears from flowing. These experiences are all part of the grief process. Allow yourself to feel, to acknowledge the feelings, and to accept the tough feelings, because it's all part of the grief journey. The process does involve you doing your part, doing something to help yourself work through the uncomfortable feelings. Tonight is a good example of allowing yourself to feel the loss while remembering them with love. Allow yourself to enjoy the holiday without feeling guilty for doing so. Remember that your journey is different and we all experience grief differently. Follow your instincts and continue to do what is best for you. So again, we all wish you a happy holiday. We are thinking of you, and we want you to know that All Care Hospice is here for you if you need us. So please be kind to yourself. Good night.